Okay, so I have my fabric. I just finished getting Terial Magic on it, letting it dry, and I've ironed it. Now I'm going to flip it over so that I have the wrong side of my fabric up. And you can see we're working with a really large piece of fabric. This is 44 inches, so it's going to take me a couple sections to put on my interfacing. So I have already cut my interfacing to be just slightly smaller than my
What kind of interfacing?
This is, I'm using Pellon 101. And this is not a stabilizer, it's an interfacing. So you do need to have both of these steps. Let me get my little thread off of this one. So I'm actually going to come down about 2 inches before I start, because my other piece that's going to come out here is also going to be about 2 inches shy, because my fabric is actually quite a bit bigger than the shapeflex itself. So I'm laying my shapeflex on, and make sure that your bumpy side is down. It is facing the wrong side of the fabric. Then I'm going to spritz this with some water to activate it. It's the water that activates the adhesive in the shapeflex. So get a little on it there. Once I do that, I'm going to take my hands and I'm actually going to rub it down, because that will help to disperse the air bubbles that are between the two layers. Now I'm going to start here in the middle and kind of work out. Let's see if my iron is ready to go. Yes, it is. And if you're cold, that takes the chill right off. So I'm going to just set my iron here, and I'm going to press this from the center straight up and get my center down first. And just do it really slow and really carefully. Now you can see I have the steam on, obviously, and it's important that you use steam with this. This is not a dry iron type of a thing. This is a definite steam iron project. And we're just steaming it the whole way across.
And what kind of iron are you using?
This is a Laura Star iron, which is, it's really, I think, a very expensive iron, but it works like it's so fabulous. It's the best iron I've had. I've had I've used a ton of different irons, and I'm always replacing them almost every year and a half because I use them so frequently. My Laura Star I've had now, what, 4.5 years. And I still love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm going to smooth this out a minute. I'm going to mention one thing. If you're going to use an ironing board like this, I am not home right now. I'm at my camera woman's house. Thank you, Margot. And the reason, so I'm using her ironing board, but I will tell you at home, I have a piece of wood that has been batted and then put muslin on over it, and I iron on that because it's completely flat and it's not soft at all. It is very hard, very flat, and then, because this is what happens. If I bring my iron all the way over to the end of the ironing board like that, I actually put a dent, a curve. I iron a curve into my fabric. So I try, when I'm doing this, I really do try and stay away from the edges. I try and only iron in the middle area of the ironing board. I try not to go right up to the edge because that puts a curve in my fabric. So if what you have is an ironing board, you might consider getting a regular board, cover it with a layer or two of Warm and Natural, and then cover it with muslin, and that makes for a really great hard ironing surface. Or you can purchase some. They have some really great straight ironing boards. So again, I'm going to start here in the middle, come all the way down, put my steam on. Forgot to put my steam. Here we go. And I really want you to be aware of sealing your edges. Really try and seal the edges so that they are not coming up. The whole purpose of the interfacing is this, that they are one piece. If you can separate yours, it's not ironed well enough. They should be one together. Okay, so you can see now I have that portion done. Now I'm gonna add another whole strip here, and I'm just gonna overlap them by about an inch or so, and then I'll get back with you. Okay, I'm back already because I need to show you how I'm overlapping these. I'm just going to let them overlap by about an inch or so. And on the other side, you may see a white strip where you overlap, but once you put batting to it, you're never going to see it. So just go ahead and overlap it. I'm going to shoot it with some water here to activate the adhesive spray. And then I'm just going to kind of rub that down to make sure that the air is kind of getting dispersed out that's underneath the two layers. We'll start here in the middle, add my steam. And we're going to iron that down. Keep in mind again that the more steam is really important for this to really adhere well. You want a really good hot iron. Don't burn it. Don't hold this on so long that you burn it and then email me and say, you told me to do this and mine's burned. Keep it moving so you don't have any problems. And again, I'm going to try not to iron up to the edge of the board so that I don't have to worry about it actually curving where the board is. I'm going to bring that down just a little bit more. There we go. And I'll finish spraying this up. And we'll just repeat that again till the whole thing is covered. Alright, see you in a minute. Okay, I've just finished ironing this, but I want to show you something. Do you ever have trouble with this? I want you to show you. Margot didn't tell me she had a wool pad. I have a huge wool pad that I use. So I'm putting this wool pad down. Anywhere I might have a problem, even to iron the whole thing, if you just lay it on there and go over it, because that wool pad is as thick as it is, it really irons and seals it together the first time. Where if you're only using your ironing board, just the ironing board, because this shifts and moves, what happens is on the right side, when you iron it like this on the right side, with the Pellon side up, it may look smooth here, but when you flip it over, it's not smooth here. And the reason is you put it on something that's too soft and squishy, and it allows this to crinkle. If you use an ironing pad, big old ironing pad, I actually put 3 of those together on my table at home, and then I can iron a huge amount, and it really holds them both beautifully, and it takes out all the wrinkles. It lays it completely flat, and it keeps it very, very smooth. So I highly recommend a very large, thick ironing pad. That might be something that you might be really glad that you got. Alrighty.